how will you term that? And then that was where the issues began. Because they wanted to paint that picture that means that is harassment. So we asked the question, okay, so what if the woman is not complaining? You know. So then we broke out, we were having all those discussions. And then it was clear that always the whites want to push an agenda to us. They want us to believe something that is useful to them. You know, like the question I asked her today. You are saying adaptation, adaptation. So which one are we adopting? Should we adopt that we have our values that we hold on to, we cherish, or we should adapt to yours? Okay. Then it brought me to, you know, all this African engagement. We talk about it all the time. But that policy that was drafted, we say that ICANN uses the multi-dimensional, multi-stakeholder model. Okay. So have you asked yourself whether all the stakeholders sat over that policy? That's the question. But we have African representation at ICANN. Okay, so what do they do? Our own people that visit there, that sit on the table, they have all these conversations. What conversation or what is their contribution to some of these discussions? Okay, so is it like our people are not really communicating our values? Is it that they are just accepting who to give it to? Yeah. Okay, but then you would tell me that, oh, the policy says, tell me that, oh, the policy says, okay, so who drafted the policy? Did you ask me? Is my contribution there? Okay, all right. So the reason I'm saying some of these things is because sometimes when we are exposed to spaces like this, you know, Olabimpe said something, she even put it on the page. It's not for us to just come here and say we are fellows, we get certificates, and then like a bragging right. No. What are you going to do with the knowledge? Okay, there are a lot of people that are out there, they don't even understand these things. Our politicians who take the decisions, they are not exposed to some of these things. Okay, but we sit down, we bash them as if they know and they are not doing. Generally, when you engage them, they don't know. Okay, they have no idea. So when you meet them privately, some will just tell you that, oh, you know these things, you're supposed to be coming to tell us because we don't know. Okay, all right. So that's just a background to say that from here, what are you going to be doing? Are you going to just go with the flow? Now I'm a fellow, you put it on LinkedIn, everybody is saying you're a fellow. Beyond that, what are you going to be doing? Yeah, you understand? You don't need a big stage like GHANASIG, because they also just went to the fellowship and they came back and said, no, our people are missing. If there's something like this there, and then we are not involved, then they decided to start the fellowship. Okay, so 6 years now. If every year, minimum 40 individuals are empowered with this information. So like 6 years now, that's 240. Okay, but you know that this year is more than 50. Okay, and last year too is more than 50. So roughly around 300. Okay, so imagine that all these 300 also go back and even decide to just their friends explain things to them. I think it will get somewhere, right? Okay, so that is the brain behind this initiative that we are trying to discuss. So it's just to let us know that we all have a role to play. You know, like Doc also mentioned something about going to Medina Market and educating the women. There are things you don't need money for, you know. And then another thing that we discussed today about the cybersecurity, you know. Okay, there's something we say, oh, in Ghana, things work. So like you are trying to build a system. My formal employment, that's what we do. So we meet our clients, okay, we want to build a system for you. Then they are like, oh, you know, we are in Ghana. Somebody can just forget his password. So do something so that when that happens, the system can accommodate. And I was like, no, we can't do that. We can't build a system to accommodate manual intervention, and you don't understand. Okay. So I'll give another scenario. Where I used to work long time ago, we were working beautifully. Everything was fine. Until that day, it was a bank. Until that day, 3 checks went through the system. They were paid over 100,000 plus. I think, no, one was 300, one was 200 plus, 1,000 though. And 3 of them went through on a big company's account. So investigation started. Then quickly, a whole department, some people were picked up. And then some people, unfortunately, slept at the, what's that word? No, not is it BNI? No, one of those, not the, is it either Yoko or one of those? Yes, yes, and they slept there. And then their families had to come and build them. It was a big issue. Big issue because everybody was like, we are working for the company, we didn't take the money. And then the bank just handed over to the agencies like that. Okay. So investigation started. And then they sat down in some room. And then they brought a book. That book, some of us had never seen that book before. And then they opened. And then a similar thing. Somebody logged into the system. What saved one person was that the person was on leave. Everything shows that she was on leave because she logged it. It's in the system that she was on leave. Yet her access was what was used to authorize the transaction. You understand? Okay. So now the question, like, okay, your password is known to you. So you were the one that did the transaction. The date, the time, everything was there. Then they opened the book. You are not supposed to share your password with anybody. Then we realized that that's where all the rules are, you know. So one thing that I learned from that is that everything is fine. We can say, oh, this is Ghana, these things happened. And we go free until something happened. The only thing that saved that woman was because in the system she's on leave. And then she said, well, nobody contacted me. I don't share my password with anybody. And of course, and that's how, even if exactly. And because she was on leave, she was let go. The rest, the bank handed over to the police, and then the police did its work. It was a big deal. Okay, so if you find yourself in a space and everybody says, oh, you know, this is Ghana, these things happened. And so there's a problem where they spool the policy document for you. You are not supposed to do this. You are not supposed to do this. Then you will see that, yes, then you understand that, oh, there's actually a policy. Okay, so it's also one of the things we can pick up. You go to work and then, oh, can you just log in for me? I want to check something. Like he said it today, Uncle Ken said it today. Sometimes it's your boss. And we think that our boss is fine. So he says, oh, I've forgotten my password. No, I can't give you my password. Like you're on leave. Oh, I need to do something in the system. Can you quickly send me your password? No. You see something as little as this, you can do it. Today, you spoke about clean desk policy. Some people have no idea. So you can go to your office, and then you try to, like, implement those things. You don't need money to do that. Okay. So that is just a brief as to why this project is important to us. Maybe you might not see it as anything big, but in your little way, that's how you can also contribute. You will not get the chance to set up a school, but you can do things that will go a long way. Okay, so that's how I try to introduce the GHANASIG impact. This podium, I don't like it. Let me it's more like that. Okay, so I'll not bore you with any literature, but the whole idea is one, to give you the opportunity to practicalize some of the things that you have read. You know, when Serenus was speaking, she said something that if you want to apply for the fellowship, you have to show a proof that you have done something. You know, Raymond will always say, application is show working. That's why he will say show working. So yes, it will give you an opportunity to do something meaningful with the lesson that you have learned. It will help you to bond better because you are going to be working with teams. You will learn more. You will continue to engage. It will give you that sense of urgency to continue to engage. Okay, so that is briefly, all those other things are grammar that we can let you read. Okay, so it's to foster collaboration and then also give you the opportunity. Yes, that's the main thing. So that yes, you can now apply the knowledge into initiatives. So what we intend to do is to have a group of 5. Each group will have 8. You choose your own initiative. The only condition is that choose something that you can do within 2 months. That will not stress you, but that will be meaningful. Okay, so we would want to give you the opportunity to at least have some quick discussion as to what you want to do. We know everybody is not here, but at least we'll form the group, then the rest we will just add them on. Okay, so randomly, you just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'll move on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the ones will add up. Okay, and then all the 2s will add up.
Okay, so as usual, the ladies will do theirs first, so that we don't have more than one lady in a group. So. Okay. So the rest. So please, the ladies, you be the arrowhead, the pillars. Yes. So. No, 5.
Oh, Rahel didn't.
No, she.
So number 3. So what do you want? Then you be at the back. Okay.
The 2 of them are 1. Okay. 3, right?
Okay, you have 2.
Who is? No. Jeffrey. No, wait. Jeffrey, you are number what? And you are what? 3. 4. Okay. 2. 3. 4. Who else? Who is left? Okay, so for the first time, we have ended at 5. So please, the ladies, call your members. Who are you praying for? You are praying for somebody. I will change the person. No. Is it consensus? I will change them.
It's random.
Is that? I tell you.
Okay, but if the class says we change them.
What's the consensus? Should we change them? Who has it? No or yes? Please, are you able to identify yourselves? So, this group 1, please write your name and send it to me now. All your names and send it to me. So, all the group names, please write your group names. Group 4, please. So please write your names now and send them to me. You can send me WhatsApp, whichever means you want. But I need it now. Okay, so the assignment is simple. We are breaking out now for 30 minutes. You go and discuss in your group the project that you think you want to carry out. So you have a very nice, within 2 months. So have the preliminary discussion. Do you remember what happened yesterday? Oh yeah. So have discussion in your group. Okay. So 20 minutes. You come back and present to us your initial ideas. Then questions will come from us and your colleagues. All of you. So please get me the names of your group members. So you are breaking out. Use anywhere. Scope of the report. The ideas. No, it's open. Yes, you can do. I won't type. Yeah, type it for me so that I'll just copy and paste. Okay. No. What you think you want to do. But ideally, internet governance related. But if you think you want to do anything else,
no,
internet governance related.
You see,
and
it's about what you have learned. So this is going to be an impact project.
Yes.
So
this is
an impact project.
This is a GHANASIG community impact project. GHANASIG community impact project. So go anywhere in the compound, downstairs, on the corridors, and you are back in 20 minutes to present. But please, get me your names now. Okay. On WhatsApp? Yes. So go anywhere. You are back in 20 minutes, and you come and present to us what you have discussed. So 20 minutes ends at 4:30. 4:40. Okay. So you are back here at 4:40. Remember yesterday. So everybody should actively engage.
Okay, so God's ways. Oh, then they're going to have to pull it back, oh, because. Okay, so I hope we are ready. And then it's getting excitement already. I mean, it's getting exciting already. Okay, so group 1. Please, you will come, you get a spokesperson, and then the spokesperson will tell us, 1, the project that you want to undertake, and how you intend to go about it, and also the benefits that you think the project would have. So for all of us, please choose your own name and your own leaders. Okay, so group 1, we are ready for you. So please come up. And then choose your spokesperson. Okay, so the other teams, what you will do at this point, act like, please, are we together? Let's all act like participants. Then we ask questions, genuine questions to help them to put everything into a better perspective. Okay. So please come. And then your spokesperson, who is going to speak for you? Okay, that is, I mean, I'm not part of that. So whoever you want to speak for you, they will ask the question.
So the spokesperson can.
Yes. So the spokesperson.
Good evening. Okay, we are group 1. And then the project we decided to embark on, right? Our project is based on educating students on internet governance and then creating awareness.
So, yeah, very brief.
Yeah. So our targeted number of students we want to educate is between 2,000 and 5,000. We've not given it a name yet. Yeah, 2,000 and 5,000. And then the purpose of the project is to ensure that students become aware of the digital space because most young, especially students, they are always on the internet, but most of them are not guided when it comes to the internet space, especially with cyber attacks, sextortion, and all those stuffs. They just follow trends on social media, and then they will be doing it, and then later on, they will be leaving digital prints, leaving their information anyhow on the internet. So we want to embark on this project to at least educate at least 5,000 students by the end of our project. I don't know if
that's
we
a
have.
big one.
5,000.
5,000, yeah.
Yeah, so we are also looking at having about 2 to 3 events in order to achieve this. And also looking at the rates at which I feel like younger people are being targeted at, it's very important that project is revolved around sextortion, data privacy as well.
Okay, so you have 2 months. So how do you intend to do this?
Okay, so
Yes. Yeah, you can. Anybody can. Adam.
okay, so thank you. So we are going to do hybrid, both in person and online. There is a ready population by our discussion, and then we'll spread it over a period of 2 or 3 weeks. So by the time we finish putting up our report, Yes, and then we also intend to serve as mentors to the young people who will be interested with our digital addresses. We can link up with them and then continue the discussions even after either the in-person or the online sessions with them. Thank you.
Great. So how are we going to measure the impact? Please, are we together? Because everybody will answer these questions. How can we measure the impact?
Okay, so we will design feedback forms, and then, as we said, we want to serve as mentors to them. So how many people have I been able to link up with? How many people have reached out to me? How long have I kept them? Which we all discussed to say that this is even going to take us beyond the 2 months period. Some of them may link up with us for life. We know people have found mentors and mentees like that, yes. So that's one way of measuring feedback and then, impact, and then the feedback forms that we'll send to them to fill.
Yeah, before and after. I was just going to ask.
Before and after.
Before the session, and then after the session, we would measure to see how they are. Okay. With the feedback forms, we could do a before the sessions happen to know or to gauge their digital literacy and regarding what we'll be teaching them. Then after, we would also engage to be able to see what they've taken from what we've discussed in order to be able to measure their impact based on the sessions that we send out to them. Yeah.
Then okay, let me ask you. So how do you intend to capture the whole process? Because like evidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we had even said it that the last thing we'll do is to put our report together. So we'll do photographs whilst we are in session. That means we need to seek permission from the audience that will be taking pictures of the events. If it's online, the online attendance register will be there for us to use, and they will give a report. Yes, please.
Okay, in your presentation. Okay, in your presentation, you did mention.
You can barely hear you.
In your presentation, you did mention that you're going to educate 5,000 people. 5,000 students. And I wanted to ask, within 2 months, you are doing your project within 2 months. Yes. So how is that feasible?
So the feasibility is based on the population that we already have. So based on that population, the quantity of that, these people, they are still discussing. So based on the population that we already have, if we are able to break it out within 2 to 3 sessions, we should be able to reach that number.
To add, what we decided to do is to liaise with various course lecturers to seek their permission to use their class sections. And some class sections are as large as 500 and up to 1,000. So if you get about 2 or 3, 4 lecturers who permit you to use their class sections within the period, 5,000 is just a small number. It's more than achievable. Thank you.
Hi. When you said you were doing students, I just wanted you to specify.
I can.
You can't hear, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I said in the presentation you said students, so I wanted to you to specify what class of students, because you said you were going to do hybrid lectures and hybrid events and all that.
Okay, so it's tertiary students.
So tertiary.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I was also wondering how you capture the interest. Say you have an event and you want them to attend, how you capture their interest, because I mean, I just finished school like 2 years ago, and I saw a lot of programs, but I attended very few. because they didn't spark my interest. You get?
But this is what we're going to use to counter that is we're using the class sessions they already have. So they have lectures. So that time they're supposed to be in lecture, and we're taking half an hour from the lectures time in order to be able to train them. So it's a mandatory task, they have to be in class, and we're going to liaise with the lecturer in order to be able to have that class. So it's not an optional thing. Let's say a class is usually about 3 hours. Oh, yeah? 2 hours. Okay, let's say 2 hours. If we are taking 30 minutes out of it, you cannot just say you are skipping our 30 minutes and then come in for the rest of the hour and a half, right? So that's... No, the lecture... So you are coming to lectures, right? So we are assuming that those who are coming to lectures are going to be in class. So if we come to class and they are in class, we are then using half an hour to do that. We are not creating an event where they have to come, because that is where we would get into that murky situation.
Oh, okay, I wanted to add up to what Frank said. What we are going to discuss, we are going to make it very relatable to them, like things they encounter day-to-day life. So it will spark their interest. It's something they have been doing, but probably doing it wrongly. So it will spark their interest, and then I think they will follow. So our last words, we thank you very much. I don't know if anyone has... and we have a question too. We wanted to know when does the 2 months start? Like, is it?
So, like we said the last time, after this, we'll give you 2 weeks to put all these ideas together. Then we'll have, please, are we together? Then we'll have a session. You'll come back and now present the whole plan. Okay? And then approval is given. So when the approval is given, so we'll give you the date that the 2 weeks starts and then the 2 week ends. After that, then we start counting the 2 months. Yes. So this one is just to be sure that we are on the same page. So this presentation is not about marking. No. We just want to be sure that you understand the assignment. If there's any question, you ask. Then you now go, do your own, put your documents together, and then you let us know, okay, this is what we want to do, based on the feedback that you get, you see. So if there's anything still you don't get, please draw our attention. Yes, please. Please give him the microphone. Brief, okay? Yeah.
So I have a couple of comments, maybe 1 or 2. The first one is, since you are on a fixed number about 5,000, the first thing is, if you go into a classroom and then... Okay, then that's fine. Because I wanted to say, if a student comes to the class, maybe over 5 sessions, and I come for only 2 sessions, it invalidates my experience throughout the training. So my post-assessment cannot be valid if you say, you assess me before, then I come for only 2 sessions, then you assess me afterwards and say, I didn't perform well, I didn't complete the experiment, so that invalidates that. So that's one question. And also the kind of assessment that you're going to have, what kind of instrument that you may be using. I don't know whether there's information on that. Yeah, so I was saying the kind of instrument that you may be using. You said survey instruments. Are you using any form of objective assessment? And then the instrument themselves, is there any information on their reliability and validation, whether those have been assessed before you go into the classroom? Yeah, just to...
So let's say that these are things that they will take into consideration to put their proposal up, and then when they are presenting, then we can now ask them all those ones. So it's good you brought it up. Okay. So I think you got what he was saying. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. So group 2, to make everything easy, let's go by this. If you are able to answer these questions, then your question will be you have less questions to answer. So specifically, what are you trying to achieve? Can you achieve it within the 2 months? Is it, yes, is it real? So once you give us all that, how are you going to be measuring it? Measure the impact. How will you capture and all that? Then we are good to go.
Please, you have 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes.
Okay. So this group B. So what we are, our project name is promoting cyber hygiene for safer mobile money transaction in Ghana. So we are targeting churches. So, and not all religious bodies, but we see that the church will be a little bit easier as compared to the mosques, but we'll start from the church. So we can start by going to the church and getting to know their groupings and how we can fit in our schedule to talk to them. So we will look at mobile money transaction. First, get to know about how they see mobile money. Because you see, I was telling my team members that as IT, sometimes someone brings his phone to you, and even if you tell the person to open the WhatsApp messages, the number of passwords the person will type in before they open it. But if you ask them about their mobile money PIN, they easily mention it to you because they know that the WhatsApp messages can end their marriage. So most of them put some serious passwords to those ones. But when it comes to the mobile money, sometimes they don't. And so they are not really aware of the challenges and other. They feel like, oh, this one day I can't even learn it. There are people who are so scared of some of those apps just because they feel like it's difficult. But just the same person can use other apps freely. So that's what we will be targeting. And so we are looking at making sure that at least we visit no less than 3 churches within the 2 months. And if we are able to do that, looking at the numbers of churches, I think we can hit up to 1,000 people. And we are also planning that after going for the first time, we either follow up 2 weeks later to the same people and find out what is the behavioral changes they've taken out from what we came to do with them. Because if maybe from now, the person has also decided that, oh, okay, I can also, if I can't be dialing the short code to do my transaction, but I can use the mobile app of those mobile money services. And the same way I'm able to protect my WhatsApp, and I can use the same skill to do it, then we will know that, okay, then most people should be focusing on the mobile apps and not the short code. So that's how we are trying to train using the churches. Then we are also looking at markets, but the easiest way is the church. That's why we are starting from there. But we are also thinking about the markets and information centers and assemblymen too. We can use them to organize their people, then we give them this education. So thank you.
So maybe for consideration, think about how you can measure the impact, even though you've made some points, but so that it's something that you can always go back to and be sure that, oh, we've made this impact. And then maybe another thing to add, with the mobile money, a lot of people still fall for those fake messages that saps your money.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe you can add it up.
No.
Each of the platforms have their own short codes
Yes.
that regularly you check if you have subscribed without knowing. Because a lot of people don't know. They'll be there, then their credit is finished.
Oh, okay.
So you can add. So you are meeting them. You want to talk to them about mobile money. You can use that same platform. So you can add it to your project. Do you get it?
Yes, please.
All right.
Thank
you. Please, any other question for them? Yes.
I think mine is not a question, but is the mode of feedback. Okay, because I'm thinking that if you say that you come back and then maybe a church, a congregation of maybe 250, and then you are able to meet, say, 10 people, and they give you, and you get their feedback, it's not representative of, I mean, the entire congregation you get. So, if you can.
Okay, yeah, so that's, we are going to research in terms of sampling. We are also going to understand the people we've met. So if we are going to, we went to a church and we met 200 people. The second time we went, we only got 10 people. It means that we have to go back. We have to go back because that data will not make sense. In terms of sampling, it's very small. We can't use that data. So it's either we start the whole process again and either train a different group of people to use that and maybe find another way of monitoring closely to make sure that that one goes on. But if we are just trying to get numbers to make a point, then that one will be, we can just lie and do that. But if we really want impact, we will have to always take the sampling seriously.
Okay, so it's I think
based
it's a nice
on that,
suggestion.
right?
We'll jot it down and then we'll look at a strategic way.
So I wanted to ask, if you go to a church, do you plan to be meeting the same group of people?
No. Okay, so we're looking at...
No, based on what he said, because if you come to, let's say, my church today, and then you meet a number, you talk to them, okay, and then you go back, and you come another time, and you come to the same church, but the probability that those you met the last time will still be here is low. So if you want to measure impact, how will you go about it?
Okay, so basically in the church, mostly we have, sometimes we have the youth groups, we have the women and then men's fellowship. So we're looking at merging the women and men's fellowship through collaboration with the church authorities, so that maybe in one of their sections we'll be there. So in that case, we would return again, meeting the same group of people through another program like that. And then that's where we can basically get the feedback and then get our measure. The same thing happens to the youth as well. So that's what we plan to do. Okay,
so if you still come, how are you going to measure the impact?
Okay.
Even though you've come twice, how will you measure the impact?
Okay. So, sorry, let's say we came first and the youth group, they were 200. And so the next time we came, we met maybe 200, but only, let's say, 50 of them are new people. But some of the, as we go, we engage. Some of the basic, questions we started with. If at the time that we are going back, the awareness that we got, so for example, let's say most of the time when you are doing when I'm doing something IT related to people who don't have IT background, one of the things you do is sometimes you give them pre-assessment to get to know their level of understanding, so that from after you are done with your training and you try another test, you are able to measure it with what you've tried them with. So that's what we are planning to do.
That's exactly what I'm asking. Yeah. So that in your whether pre or post assessment, I think for all of us,
yes,
ask the post assessment, ask if they were part of the previous, because so that you can filter those ones out. It will help you to measure.
Okay. Yeah, we add it here.
Yeah, so the post, let there be an indicator to show that, yes, I participated in the old one. And so that you will know that, yeah. Okay, any other questions for them? Do you have any questions?
I think our 2 minutes is up.
Yes. So, group 3. I thought you had a question for them. Okay, so group 3. Group 3. So specifically what you want to do, and just tell us.
Thank you. Just like a politician with this, we are here. So that's group 3. So I have Rachel here, I have Maruko, and I have Sadiq, and I'm Benedict. So it's a project to, create impact. So what we are looking at is creating a digital safety club. That's the main thing we want to do. And of course, the name will be Digital Safety Club. That's our name, the name we've adopted, a Digital Safety Club. And our objective is to form educational clubs in schools to create digital awareness. That's what we want to do within these 2 months. Now, what's our target? Our target is to target, we are targeting the young ones, of course, catch them young, and they'll be yours forever. So we are targeting JHS and then SHS students. And then we have 2 schools, main schools we want to start with. One is a pilot technical institute in Kokomemle. That's an SHS school. And then JHS, we have Springwood International School, also in Kokomemle. So, we are within Kokomemle, and that's what we want to do. And of course, the main aim is to create that kind of digital awareness in the schools. So we are going to form clubs. You are not just going to visit them. We are going to form clubs there, ensuring that, let's say, every Friday or every Thursday within, with assurance or with the permission of the heads there, we'll have a day. And as clubs, formally, that's what we will get. We'll have Wildlife Society, Red Cross Club. Those things are kind of down now. So we want to ensure that, creating digital awareness by forming these clubs in the schools. They are going to be meeting. We will be as like mentors to them. Of course, in being mentors, we'll have patrons for the clubs, and then we'll go there, create awareness, teach them online safety, a lot of topics within the digital space, and then we'll ensure that we create impact. Aside teaching them, one of the main things is that sometimes when you teach these kids and you bring mentors or you bring kind of professionals in quotes, so Agifa, we have a lot of mentors here. We have, the fellows are even one, yeah. So bringing these people would even have impact within them. So that's one of the strategy we want to use. So basically, how do we assess them within these 2-3 months? Of course, just like the other group mentioned, we're going to have a kind of a pre-assessment, and then within 2 months, look at the post-assessment. Aside that, they are students. We can be organizing quizzes to see how far or whatever they've learned and other sources. So basically, group 3, we are creating a club called Digital Safety Club, and we are targeting the GHS and SHS students at Pilot Technical Institute, Kokomemle, and then Springwood International, Kokomemle. So that is what we want to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Beautiful. Any contributions? Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. I think this is a very great idea. Please, at the schools, I know the Springfield sounds like a private school, so that is out. The other one, please, is a government school or?
Yeah, so Pilot Technical is a government school.
It's a government school,
yeah.
okay.
So ideally, within these 2-3 months, those are the 2 we are targeting.
No problem.
But it's something that would spread
yes.
across. Yeah.
My only caution is that at the basic and secondary schools right now, the gatekeeping is very, very strict.
Right.
You have to get clearance from Ghana Education Service, go through the district. By the time you finish 2027. So that is the caution. Yes, and maybe I know, Egifa, we have a project to set up clubs in school, to set up clubs. So maybe we can rather initiate this. Let us start the work by seeking approval from Ghana Education Service. So in the next year or 2, then when we come now, you have that clearance, then you task us to now go to schools with that clearance letter. I've experienced it before. It will take you nothing less than 1 year, 2 years to get the clearance. No, the private, that one is between you and the proprietress or the proprietor, yes. But with the government schools now, all the heads are really tight-lipped on some of these things. So for maybe because it's a club, you know, if it's just 1 day visit or 2 days visit, a head may permit you. But if it's a club that will be set up, you need clearance and I think government registration documents, and it's a very bureaucratic process. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So thank you.
This is me talking personally, nothing to do with EGIFA. Okay, this is Karen talking. Please just go for private and have peace of mind.
All right.
It's not worth it. No, you see what you are saying. I perfectly understand you.
Let's start the process, not with this.
Yes.
So when you get the clearance,
yes.
A year or two, because you don't have to cut off the schools, because they even need it more.
Yes, they need it more, but they act like they don't. So for your project, right? Yes. So the suggestion you are making, oh yes, that one goes to EGIFA. That's why I said this is my personal. Yes, for your for this particular one, just look for, for your mental health. Just look for 2 privates, right? Run your project and go. Okay, we'll start the process, and then we see how it goes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah.
So I think that was a laudable suggestion because just like GHANASIG being an EGIFA sub-entity, probably that's something that we should do, helping EGIFA set up these clubs. So probably we can even start now, I mean, on the other side, so that probably by that time I'll be a Minister of Education. It will be
Amen.
It's too busy for all of us, yeah.
Okay. So I think we don't have...
But on the other hand, that public SHS, Mauko happens to be somebody working there, knows them, so we'll kind of have a way.
Something permanent, you know.
Probably in the long term.
Yes, and also to say that we have a Media and Information Literacy Club. I know GIJ has one. University of Ghana has also set up one. So maybe you can also collaborate with them. Yes.
Okay, so my question is, which one first? Are you going to register the club? Because you say you want to form a club. So are you going to register the club, or you are just going ahead with the project to execute what you want to do? So you have to be very clear on that. And one thing I like about your presentation is you are very clear where you want to do it and what you want to do at a particular time, which gives you quite a very distinct presentation. So that's my question. Are you going to register the club first before the project, or you go ahead and do the project and forget about the club, or you do the club and now go ahead and do the project, then you now go ahead and do the club? Which one comes first? Because to form a club takes a lot of effort.
Okay, so this is for your information to think about, and then put it in your presentation. And then, so what we can do is that while you are putting your presentation, if you need any clarity, so that you are not presenting that we are telling you, oh no, this is what you are supposed to have done. Okay, so that we are clear. So group 4, thank you very much. Group 4.
So this is group 4, and my colleagues are Christabel, Robert, Salom, and myself, Jonas. And our project is online safety awareness in second cycle schools for second cycle students, so particularly the senior high schools. And what we intend to do is to give them education and training on how to behave themselves online. What kind of information to put out there, what type of information to share, and how to create strong passwords if they have accounts online that need some type of security. And also how to spot fake news or fake websites, like we've also been able to learn through this program as well. So those are some of the basic things we want to be able to teach them. And the idea is to roll this out to 4 schools. We are looking at 2 secondaries and 2 public schools and 2 private schools. And these are schools that for the public schools, I understand some of the sentiments regarding gatekeeping in the public schools, but the public schools are schools that we have personal relationships with, and we intend to utilize that in order to reach out to them. And since the timeline is 2 months, like I said, 4 schools, nothing stressful. No, not yet. And first thing we're going to do is plan. So we're going to use like a 1 week to plan. So that's our timeline for carrying it out. First week is to plan. Second week is to get the letter that will be needed to send it out to the schools. And then the week after would be creating the content, the kind of content that we want to create for them. Because they are, secondary school students, we want to make sure that that content is engaging and interactive, just like how we've been able to pass through the ICANN platform and the RIPE NNC, sort of gamify some of these courses for them to be able to engage so that they don't feel bored. It's interesting for them to engage. And then we create a website in order for them to do that. But the website only comes into play after we've done the first contact with them. We want to have a physical contact with these schools, before we roll out the website for them to engage. So even when we are gone, they still have these resources and these materials to engage with and to learn even more. And by so doing, it has a cascading effect on them and on any other school that intends to enroll onto that program. And we can have more schools, and that by so doing, we would have a much larger impact than just those 4 schools. And after that, because we are using a website, we'll be able to track their engagement and how they use it. And then maybe at the end of every lesson, just again, like our RIPE NNC and ICANN, we put some short survey to see if they understand what they've learned and how it has also impacted them. That's one way to also measure the impact. And yeah, so our budget, we're looking at 30,000 CDs to be able to expedite this. But that is not, it's not going to be a big deal because, we've decided to cover the cost ourselves. Yeah. So yeah, that's the project. That's what we intend to do so far.
Okay, so the website.
Yes.
What domain name are you going to use?
Pardon?
The website.
Yes.
What entity is going to have the website?
It's going to be for GHANASIG. Since we're doing the project for GHANASIG, it's going to be for GHANASIG.
Okay. Okay,
4.
so no,
it's a GHANASIG. It's going to be.
So let's engage because of time. Okay, like
Yes.
we are saying, let's engage, get all the understanding, like be on the same page. Then you do your presentation.
Sure.
Then we know that by the time you are doing the presentation, we've done all the background work already.
Exactly.
It will help.
Absolutely.
But it's a good thing.
Yeah,
Please, do
thank
you have
you.
any question for them? No. Okay. Okay, so, all right. So I think we don't have any questions for them, right? Okay, so group 5. Thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you.
job, good job. Okay, so group 5. If you can make it snappy like group 4, it will help.
Okay. Good evening, everybody, once again. As usual, my name remains Olabimpia Deloro, and we are representing Group 5. On this group, we have Derek to my left, and to my right, amazing gentlemen. We have Samuel, Doug, Atimo, then we have Jeffrey, Doa. Don't let me go to the last one. I'm sorry about that. And our project is titled Cyber Hygiene for Children. Our target audience, children, have access to the internet. And these children, nowadays, as we know, even more than adults, are tech savvy, but very vulnerable. They are vulnerable to cyberbullying, online predators, scam, phishing, and inappropriate content. So we are taking it upon ourselves to do the education. So we'll be educating them on key hygienes to observe. And how do we hope to do this? We are targeting, as children, we know our best bet is schools. So we'll be going to schools, some schools. We've not decided what schools or how many yet, because, here we have an international audience here. So, but we're targeting schools, some schools here in Ghana and in Nigeria. And in these schools, we are targeting children, like I said earlier, but we are involving their teachers. So to involve parents too, because it's not just to educate the children. If we don't have educators, parents, guardians to support them, then our work might not be as effective as it should be. So we hope to use PTA meetings to catch the parents, because we know usually the parents will attend PTA meetings. So we also plan to make a booklet for these children, a booklet between the pages of 10 to 15 that they can have to fall back on. Good enough, we have an author among us, so making a book would not be a problem. And since we want to we're targeting a very vast audience, so we are also looking at webinars, maybe like 2 to 3 webinars within these 2 months. And so how do we get these people? Fortunately, one of us have audience online already. We have one of us that has 2 communities of over 3,000 individuals. So catching people online, parents, guardians, educators wouldn't be a problem. So that those we cannot reach in person, then we can reach them physically. It may not be always easy catching these ones online, so we intend to make our flyers as early as possible and do awareness using our social media handles to do awareness, so that the webinars will have much participation. And it's good that we had some that presented before us. So we know you want to know, how do we measure impacts, which, makes sense. So how do you know if what you've done is good or not? So we tend to, when we get to this audience, to use social experiments. You know how it is to get what people's culture, what their habit is like. So we intend to use social experiments. We do observation, we have conversation with them, we do incident reports. So what's been their experience so far? Is there anyone among them that experienced incidents, maybe like cyberbullying and all? Then we will also do post-intervention. So since it's not going to be a one-off thing, so we are also looking at post-intervention. And since it's school, so we have like a permanent residual audience that we can always go back to. So we go back to them, to these schools, and that's why we will not be covering too much. So we want to go back to them and check with them what's their behavioral habits over the period of time of before and after is like. So basically, that's what we have.
Anything to add? Sorry?
Okay, Group 5, your nice project. I think I like your project. Cyber police, I actually thought maybe you will be implementing a cyber police station. But anyways, my question is, what if within the 2 months, there are no PTA meetings? So you said, how are you going to get to the parents?
That's a good one. I know, we never thought about that, and that's why conversations are good. So we will go back.
Yeah. So you are
check.
not supposed to answer it. So you will go back and work on it.
So we'll check out. Thank you.
So any other thing to share for them? Okay. So I think we are all on the same page. Yes.
Recommendations, suggestions. We are open now or later.
Yeah, now or later, yes. So at least we just want to be sure that we are all on the same page, which I think we are. So let's engage. Before you put up your proposal, let's engage. If there's anything we need to do behind
when you say let's
scene,
engage,
let's talk. Especially like you want to a website. Let's have a conversation. Let's agree that, okay, this is the direction we want to go before you prepare your proposal. So that you don't prepare the proposal, then we are now asking you, okay, so what about this, what about this?
Okay, so
it will affect
whatever
the timeline.
we decide, we'll let you know first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Then we can, if there's any clarity, we can provide.
Okay.
Okay. If there's any suggestion, we can. Because at the point, the focus is on children, but then we are talking about the parents. Because, so we need to just be sure that we are getting the right information.
Yeah.
Okay. Because getting children like that is not easy. Because even when you go to the school, especially because at the age that you mentioned, hardly would the school allow you to engage them directly. The parents have to be consent. I mean, have to give their consent. So we have to look at all that. But if you already have a school that you want to do that with, that will be helpful. But we can look at, okay, how best do we do that? Because if you are educating the parent, yes, it will cascade also in the home. But we'll see, okay, can we get the children? Where can we get? Because it's also a good one.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so I think on that note, we are done for the day. And the time is fast spent. So thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes. So you submitted your names on the page, right? So we'll add on those who are not here. So we'll add on. So what we will say is that by now you know your members, agree on who is going to be leading you. We will think about how to manage that process. Ideally, we need to have a page for all that, but we'll discuss that. Okay. All right. So who will give us a closing prayer? Even though we didn't start with a prayer. Oh, yes, please. Yes. Oh, yeah, that's what